Well, hey everybody, this is Pat Mesiti live at 5, and I wish I had better news for you today, but we'll get to some good news in a minute. How's the Prime Minister of New Zealand? 4 people locks down a country, 4 people in one family. Why on earth we couldn't just quarantine the 4 and keep New Zealand going is beyond me. These draconian measures are worse than being in a communist country. You know, the other day I showed a video and shared a video on Facebook about what's happening in Melbourne. What I don't understand is how a guy like Barry Farrell in New South Wales, a great premier who left a great foundation, resigned because he forgot to mention that someone gave him a bottle of Penfolds Grange and forced him to resign. Yet a guy like dictator Comrade Dan can lie in an inquiry yesterday. Outright avoid specific questions and referring it, well, there's a process right now, it's in the courts. And the judge says, hey, you know the answers, tell the people. And yet people in Victoria are singing this guy's praises. Are you kidding me? Let me give you a brief rundown of what's happening in Victoria. Do you realize Australia is the only country in the world that's locked its borders against its own people? This is insanity. 331 deaths should not cause literally $100 billion disasters, companies going bankrupt, suicides, problems with mental health. This should not be the case. Ladies and gentlemen, in Victoria right now, police can now enter anyone's home without a warrant. Anyone's home. There is a curfew from 8 p.m. Watch this. You got the police going out, handing out fines for any valid reason. If you are without a valid reason for leaving your home, where you can only travel 5 kilometers outside your home. Are you kidding me? Countries like China and Russia don't do this. There's a couple of $100 fine if you don't wear a mask. The mandatory mask that dictator Dan said was not necessary before, that a mask was a complete waste of time. He said, and I quote, only one person per day can leave the house to buy groceries. And now you're limited to once a week. What's this? You can't go more than 5 kilometers from your home. Weddings are illegal. There are to be no gatherings of any size. You cannot visit family. You cannot visit family. You are given, I may have covered this, but let me say it again, a $652 fine. $650 fine if you are leaving your house without any valid reason. Watch this. Since March 21, a total of 193,740 spot checks have been conducted by police across Victoria, and the army is on the street arresting people. This is not a communist country. Several thousand people were placed under house arrest and unable to leave for any reason, with food rations delivered by the army, leading to appalling levels of personal trauma. The media, or the mainstream media, is pumping out stuff, the fear of this. And the fines apparently up to now so far total 5.2 million. Have we lost our minds? We are giving up our freedoms. Is this what the Anzacs fought for? I don't understand. And then our own Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, says, don't criticize Dan. Scotty, are you kidding me, mate? This guy's not your friend. We need a drastic intervention here. Victoria is in a police state. Over what? The inability of a premier to control his security guards. And then he outright lies that he wasn't offered ADF help, lied about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I really believe we need to start really taking our freedom back, whether it's lobbying, marching, whatever it is. I know people now are fighting with their neighbors, our personal liberties. We have made enemies of our own neighbors. People are fighting on the street, arguing neighbor against neighbor. The good book says that in the last day, the love of many will grow cold. It talks about lawlessness increasing. It talks about the government control. We are living in those type of days. Now, how do you handle it? How do you handle it? Well, number one, be responsive, not be reactive. Number two, I'm losing count myself. Number two, get your life and your mind under control. I'm going to keep ringing this bell. I would say get your life in some kind of routine, but sadly, Dictator Dan has given you the routine already. But this has got to be an example for all of us in Australia and all the nations of the world. This is communism. Number 4, fight for your rights. Number 5, realize there is an agenda behind this. This is not normal. Why would the Prime Minister of New Zealand shut down a country for 4 people in one family? It's insanity. Why would our nation cut its borders off from each other? No other country does it. And it's got nothing to do with public health safety. Most of the people that have died in this pandemic in Australia, and I hate calling it that, are the elderly and infirmed. And now government grants are given just because you put COVID-19 on someone's death certificate. Ladies and gentlemen, these are things we ought to be concerned about. The lies from government are beyond someone forgetting about a bottle of Penfolds Grades in the case of Barry Farrell. This, I believe, and I'm going to cop it on this one, to me it amounts to treason in our own country. You don't care for the people, Mr. Andrews. Most of the premiers that I'm seeing don't care. You've quarantined us from each other. You think this virus is going to be controlled by this? Well, the Lancet Medical Journal says that lockdowns have not and do not work. Have a look at Sweden and have a look at some of the other countries. Maybe they didn't live under dictatorial leaderships, such as the Labor Party in this country are trying to enforce upon us. We need to take back control. And my other advice is we need to start getting our media to tell the truth. Hey guys, I really believe it's a couple of things to inspire you. Number one, don't lose faith in this. Number 2, keep your vision. Number 3, do whatever you can do to create yourself your own income. Number 4, quarantine your families from fools and craziness like this. And number 5, keep your spirits up. Number 6, be vocal about what you believe. Number 7, realize this will pass eventually. This is Pat Mesiti. You have a prosperous life.